welcome back to the Broadside Podcast. I am Andy Elliott, and on this episode, I was joined in person by DJ Scadlock and over the phone by Chris Meyer to discuss a pretty awesome organization called Titan Outdoors. Titan Outdoors puts on what's called the Little Titans Hunt for Our Future camp. This is a 4-day youth hunt camp in Oregon that really offers an invaluable experience to kids ages 9 to 15. Chris and DJ kind of go over what this camp involves, what it looks like to be at this camp for 4 days, all the stuff that these kids get to learn, how it all got started. So I'll be posting a little bit more info on my website in the blog section. It can be found at elliotoutdoorgear.com. There you can kind of find some info on some past podcast episodes, along with some clothing, shirts, and hats and stuff for sale. So yeah, if you're enjoying any of these episodes, just please do me a favor, hit the share button. I'd like to continue bringing content like this and helping spread awareness to things like the Little Titans Hunt Camp. And also, if you're liking what you're listening to and you think you might want to join me for an episode, feel free to reach out. You can get me at my website or Elliott Outdoors at Facebook and Instagram. So with that being said, let's get after it. All right. Well, so usually I just kind of start these out. I'll let you guys introduce yourself. So DJ, if you want to go ahead and start.
Yeah, so I'm DJ Scadlock. I was born and raised a West Side boy. Moved over here in 2008. Been here ever since.
Where's over here?
In the Yakima area.
Okay. You gonna make us guess or
Killing
what?
me.
Yeah. I mean, you got anything about your hunting background or anything you want to elaborate on at all? Or?
Yeah, I can a little bit. So I basically grew up around it. I hunted everything aside from waterfowl, deer, elk, grouse. I mean, you name it, and I was out looking for it. It's kind of always been a big part of my life. That's
where at from the west side?
so the Chehalis area, a little
Chehalis.
town called PL. Actually, Phelps Game Co. put that place on the map.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Alrighty, yeah. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Chris Meyer. Let's see. I started hunting when I was 13 years old. My stepfather and my grandfather got me into hunting, and just took off from there. I'd never done anything like that before that time, and first time was amazing. Just going out and being in the woods, just being with family and whatnot, was awesome. And from there, just kind of took off from deer to bear to elk and everything else I could figure out how to hunt. And, let's see, around 2005, I started. Well, prior to that, I was filming scouting trips, things like that, just for fun, just to see how close I could get with the camera and what kind of footage I could get. And people used to come over just to watch scouting trips. It was kind of fun. So about 2005, I started Titan Outdoors, and we set out to film a DVD based out of Western Washington, mainly the PNW. And it just snowballed. We took off and got a bunch of sponsors, and it was just crazy. A bunch of people said, "You can't do that around here." And we were like, "Oh, well, then we'll try. Why not? Can't hurt." And so rolled into the second and third and fourth DVDs. And over the years, I guess the industry for me felt a little saturated, and I was just kind of losing my touch for being in touch with wanting to do the DVDs as much. And we moved to Oregon from Chehalis. Used to paintball with DJ back in the day. That's how we originally met. But me and the wife moved to Oregon, and met a friend here, Jamie Dixon, who asked if I'd ever thought about putting on a youth hunting camp. And it was something I'd actually thought about before, because I'd been to a different youth camp before, and always wanted to do one, but couldn't. Just basically at the time couldn't, because of logistics with hunting around here and trying to take, a large amount of kids out on a weekend to get a deer. Sometimes you can go a weekend and not even see a deer. But Jamie had a friend that had a ranch that, we could do the camp at, and Four Aces Ranch. And so we started talking about it, and within, I think 6 months, maybe less, we put together the first camp and took 10 kids out on an all expense hunt with the Little Titans. So I'm sorry, my son just came in.
No, you're all right.
His mom yelling at him upstairs, "Don't go in there! Don't go in there!"
Yeah.
So anyhow, yeah, it just kind of snowballed. We started off with taking 10 kids to the camp, and a new thing was born. So Titan Outdoors Little Titans became the new big thing for me and in my life, and the most important thing that I focus on, and just been rolling from there.
Nice. So you guys met way before kind of the Titan Outdoors thing then?
Yeah, so I owned a paintball field way back in the day. Well, my dad owned it when I was in high school. I just ran it, and Chris would come out fairly often. Actually, he was one of our main.
About every weekend.
Yep. So, and we had
Yeah.
lost contact after that for quite a few years, and then he put on a coyote hunt. I think it was the last year we were allowed to do those in this state.
Yeah.
And we kind of got back into contact there, and that was when I started noticing some of the Titan Outdoor stuff on Facebook, and yep,
Right on.
here we are.
So this youth camp, it's at the Four Aces Ranch, and
Yeah, we put it on at Four Aces Ranch in Ashwood, Oregon.
okay, and so like what's offered there? Like, if I'm a kid headed to the Four Aces Ranch for this camp, what can I look forward to running into when I get there?
They have so it's exotic rams, and they have a bunch of other critters too. But what we do is we pay for the ram hunt, and so they're after all sorts of different rams. DJ, help me out here. We got black Hawaiians, white dolls, sand dolls, I believe.
Yeah, there's some sand dolls out there.
Painted deserts, all sorts of. I mean, they've got a wide variety of rams out on the ranch, and when I say ranch, it's about 5,500 miles of pretty rugged
Acres.
terrain. It's not like a big flat open country ranch. These critters can hide just about anywhere, and they do very well. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, you get a lot of guys that'll, they hear, oh, it's a high fence hunt. Well, I don't want my kid hunting a high fence. Well, the first year I'd gone out with my oldest daughter, we'd gone, what, Chris, 45 minutes, an hour without even seeing a ram. We saw buffalo and yak and all sorts of other stuff. It was like a zoo, but we couldn't find the rams. It's not what people think when they hear high fence is you're pulling up to a field, you're picking out what you want to shoot, and you're shooting, and it's not like that at all.
Yeah, they actually got to do a little work for it then.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, it's a pretty fun experience.
Yeah, and so I was looking at and talking with you guys before this. Not only that, they kind of walk away with some other things too, like hunter's education, right?
Yeah, so basically over the years we've kind of added on, and we started off doing a lot in the first place. We had the hunter's education, shooting class, things like that. But every year we just seem to, sharpen and make everything a little bit better. And so the kids go through, we have a certified hunter's education instructor that comes out and does the field course with the kids at camp. So a lot of the kids will do their online course through Oregon fishing game, and then what they'll do is they get that certification, they bring that, the hunter's education instructor signs them up for the field course at camp, and when they come to camp they go through the actual field course, which those are kind of hard to come by these days. So that's a plus, and then they leave with their certification ready to get their hunting license for that following year.
That's pretty awesome. That's a huge thing, to get nailed down while they're there.
It is, and we've had so many kids. not only that are selected to go to camp, but brothers and cousins, moms, sisters, whatever. A lot of family, they're open to the come to camp and hang out, but also to take that course. So this year we've got a couple of moms that are doing the online course with their kids, and then they're going to do the field course at camp with the kid as well. So they're also going to get their certification.
Nice. So, other than your hunter's ed, um, are like some of these kids coming with like zero hunting background and basically, like first time
Yeah.
out there kind of thing, or like.
Yep. A lot of them. So basically, we target when we're looking for little titans. We are looking for kids that have either never been hunting before and always have wanted to go and have that passion to go, but haven't had the opportunity. Kids that have been hunting before and haven't had success, big game success, or kids that are having some major struggles in life, and they need something. They need that outlet. So we've taken several kids that just needed something like this in their lives, and that's worked out really well for a lot of kids and a lot of families in the past as well. So that's always a plus.
Yeah. So, kind of how does like the DJ, how are you involved uh, in the actual program, or like do you guys have like kind of how the structure works? Like.
So I'm not technically a part of Titan Outdoors,
Gotcha.
Yeah,
but
yeah, whatever he
so
is, he knows
so
it.
it was. I think this year marks my 5th year of going back to camp. I went with my oldest daughter, and we'd gone there, and she did the hunter safety course. She did some shooting practice with some long range guys, gave her some tips and tricks, and then went out, harvested a ram, came back. We had Joel there with Black River Taxidermy. Taught her how to skin her ram out, taught her how to cape it, all that fun stuff. And then we hung them in the cooler. Well, come the end of camp, you got all these families that, some of which have never been around it, others have, that are, they're leaving with a carcass on the bone, and a lot of people don't know how to handle that. So I called Chris when I got home and I said, dude, let me come back as a volunteer. And I'm not a professional by any stretch of the imagination, but let me come back. We'll teach the kids how to take the meat off the bone. We'll clean it up, get some of that silver skin off. We'll grind it. We'll turn it into sausage. Those rams taste like crap anyways. Yeah. So we'll turn it into breakfast sausage right there. So by the time they leave camp, they've gone from start to finish, A to Z, in the whole hunting experience. So
and that was something we were missing. We had everything covered up until that point, and like from the hunter's education class, shooting class, target shooting at the camp. Joel is always there to help teach the kids how to take care of their animals and skin them and gut them out. And the kids do all that as they're going through this process. They're not only just showing up to go shoot something, they're learning as they go. They're doing the classes, they're learning when they're out there. We get Vortex binoculars for the kids. They get packs from Bob's Sporting Goods filled with goodies. They've got their Hunter Orange, that Bob's provides as well. And so they come and they are set up and ready to go, when not only for camp, but when they leave. They get to keep these things. So they're leaving with the goodies that they need to kind of have a basic kit to start their hunting life. And when they get back and they did the skinning and everything with Joel, then we didn't have that piece that DJ was just talking about and that he filled with his dad and family. So that's a huge part, because it kind of puts the icing on the cake of everything the kids have gone through. And it's so cool to sit at camp and see them around the table and, hitting the grinder and doing all the work to finish off the process. So I love it. When he brought that up, I was just like, Absolutely. There's not even a thought about it. It's boom, that was it. We needed that, and you got it.
In
If you want
fact,
to do that, you're in.
I think your exact words were, "Yeah, let's have you do that. I'm not even going to ask the board about it. I'm just going to make this call on my own." So,
Because they're all going to say the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a
They're
huge
all going to be
part
on
of
the
it.
same page. So, yeah, it was just absolutely amazing that they come and do that, because it was a needed process for sure.
and it's something we look forward to as a family. I mean, my girls are already. Is it almost time for camp yet?
Yeah.
Like
And a
so.
lot of families come back every year, and it's great. I mean, what do you think, DJ? Last year before, we got about 100 people that show up at camp.
Oh yeah, easy. Between
You know,
grandparents and parents, and some people are
friends and
bringing
family.
cousins, friends, family. Yep, all sorts of.
It is a giant family event. So, and obviously they all don't go out on the hunt, but the camp life it's amazing. Just sitting back. I think last year was one of my first years I actually got to sit back and look around a little bit. And usually I'm running around with my head cut off and just sitting back and looking at the people around the campfire enjoying each other's company, and the kids running around all over camp playing. And it's just I don't even know how to explain it. It's just such an awesome feeling to sit back and watch everybody having such a great time.
Yeah. And I mean, for any hunt camp, camp back at camp's a huge part of the whole experience for everybody too. I'm sure there's probably all sorts of stuff that goes down that's memories created for all these kids and guests and everything.
Memories and best friends. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. How long is the camp? Is it
4 days.
4 days? Okay.
Yeah. So 4 days, and that way we can stretch it out and break it up a bit. Um, we started off doing three days, and then we also started off with 10 kids, and now we're up to 16 kids. So we have a hard time saying no.
Yeah.
So the kids, and actually we didn't even get to that part. The kids, when to get selected to go to camp, the kids put in a video submission to us about themselves, about why they want to come to camp, and about kind of a little about their life, and things like that. And they make these really creative videos, and by creative I mean, oh, was it Kaiser that tied up Tim?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
My youngest
Kaiser
daughter.
tied up Tim, one of our camp cooks. And while she was at camp the prior year, she tied him up in a chair and said, "If you don't give me my opportunity to come to camp, you're not getting Tim back." And that was that was part of her video that she submitted. And it was just so cute. So that's not that they're just standing there saying, "Hi, my name's Matt, and I want to come to your camp because it's cool." These kids put on little skits and shows, and they'll do like newscasts, forecast things, and they'll do little TV show skits. And it's just, they're funny. And so when they turn them in, we got 30 to 40 videos to watch, and we usually take about anywhere between 12 and 15 kids. Well, the last couple of years we've taken 16 because we get so many good videos, we just can't say no.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome too. The way they sign up is, that's a whole character building experience in itself. Like,
It is, and they got to put in the work, and if they really want to do it, they'll put in the work. And these kids, I every year we've taken officially over 100 kids to camp now, successful hunting trips on these camp experiences for these kids. And every year we get all these videos, and I think next year there's no way they're going to top it. Nobody's going to top that. And then boom, like this year we got one of the videos that was just so funny. We were all rolling. I mean, it was just amazing. It just, the kids they're creative, and every time you think they can't, top what they did the year before, somebody else comes and knocks it out of the park.
yeah, that's awesome. So, you mentioned like a camp cook. What other roles, like, I don't know if I'm diving too deep, but like, you probably got quite a few volunteers and like the different roles they play. Like you obviously were helping process. Joel helps with the the skinning and stuff like that. What else? Who else you got that go there and help?
So it's catered every year. So we have dinners are provided, and we have well, we used to have Tim Weber from Papa Bear Smoked Meats come and do it, and he kind of retired. So Matt Beach is coming this year, and he came last year and provides dinners for us. Um, we've got guides that go with each kid uh, out on the hunt, obviously, so they know where to go and what to do and all that good stuff. The parent, we allow a parent to go. They stay back with the camera guy. So we also have a cameraman that goes along on all the hunts and on each one and films the entire experience. So not only did the kid get to go and do the experience, they get to go back and watch it later on. So that's always been a fun thing that we do for them as well. Um, what else, DJ? We got Joel, obviously, that comes and does all the skinning. It's so cool to sit there and watch him work with those kids and teach them how to skin. And he gets obviously down to a certain point where he's going to be doing the caping part and takes over, but he gets in there and lets them
But
do the work.
the guy's still a book of knowledge, and he still sits and explains everything he's doing to those
Everything to
kids.
him.
So
Yeah, he
he's
even
not
brings
leaving anything out.
no, he'll even on his off time, not off time, but when he's not skinning, he'll bring like some furs and antlers and different things and horns and from rams or whatever, and he'll lay them out on the table and kind of go over a little class with them and skulls, things like that, and like, hey kids, what do you think this is, and then tell them what it is and why, they should know that, or not should know it, but how to know that. Um, Things like that. So they get taught so much while they're there, and it's hard to even sit back and think of everything that they learn because there's so many things and so many people involved, and it's just yeah, it's great.
I got to take a little time and kind of shout out the older teenage kids too. Courtney and Ashley. Sorry, Ashley, if you're older than a teenager now.
She's yeah.
Kata, and the older girls that we've kind of watched over the years grow up that are now helping with the younger kids, the younger siblings that are there at camp, and just wanting to run amok. We've got these older girls that are now kind of keeping an eye on them throughout the day too. So those are
Yeah, and
they're a
helping
huge
out
help.
around camp and doing all sorts of stuff, and it's just cool to see them all come back, and like, well, my daughter Courtney, she's been coming since she was 10, and now she's 19.
Right.
So, your daughter and your family and Ashley is a full grown adult now. It's hard to even imagine, but
right.
like, that's my buddy Skylar's daughter, and Skylar's a very good friend of mine's been coming and helping out with Titan Outdoors and with the Little Titans for years, and couldn't do it without all these people helping out.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like I want to go, man.
Dude, you're
It
welcome.
sounds like a
Good.
great time, and like I think it's just a great idea. There's a bunch of grown men out there that don't know half the stuff you're teaching these kids, and it's a huge asset for them later on if they continue down the path of hunting.
And it's amazing. So the really cool thing about it is it's not about necessarily, you know, the ranch and all that good stuff. It's taking them there to teach them the basics, to teach them and get that fire burning for them to have that passion to go out and go hunting. And I've had kids just freaking out because they are so excited to go elk hunting and bear hunting and deer hunting right after camp. And I've had parents literally standing there in tears because their kid is like begging them, can we go elk hunting this year? Can we go deer hunting this year? Which they didn't think was going to happen. Like I never thought in a million years my kid would want to go elk hunting. And she's begging me to make sure we can go this year. And then following that with getting pictures and text messages and everything from the parents and everything of kids with their first bear that following year, their first elk, their first deer. We've got a couple of kids that cleaned house, bear, deer, and an elk. And I mean, these kids are heading out with such a passion that they're going out and they're going hunting, and a lot of them are having success. And whether they have success or not, I get pictures still of them out in the woods just with their families enjoying the outdoors. And not even if they got something or not, they'll send me a message. We went out hunting and we saw, 3 birds, and it was the greatest thing ever. And honestly, without a place like Four Aces Ranch, we wouldn't be able to do this. We're not going to be able to put on a 4-day camp for 16 kids and take them out on successful hunts and really get that passion burning for them. We would take them out around, the hills of Oregon and pray that we saw a deer.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of hunters that go out a whole season and don't get a crack at anything.
Yeah.
So
multiple
just
years.
imagine trying to take, kids, that many kids out, especially kids, especially younger kids that aren't very experienced, and they need that opportunity to be a little bit longer, for the deer to stand there or whatever. And some of these rams, trust me, they don't just stand there. They are skittish. Other ones, just like deer, you'll have a deer that you jump out and look at it, and it will stand there and look at you and give you every angle you want before you shoot. You got other deer that are taking off as soon as you even blink. So it's the same thing. And like I said, without a place like Four Aces and Caleb and Chantel, we would be so not able to do something like this.
Yeah, I mean, you don't hear about something like that very often, where kids have an opportunity to go through the entire process, and know, I'm sure you don't know. I don't know if you guys have like a success rate, or if kids leave maybe not getting one. I don't know, but
I don't have like a percentage of how many kids. I can tell you a large majority of the kids have continued to hunt and a lot of them have had success. Kata being one of them.
Yeah, no, I guess what I meant by success is like I mean, 9 out of 10 or 15 out of 16 kids getting one, or is pretty much
Oh, at camp.
Yeah, camp.
Oh,
yeah.
it's 100%.
100%. Okay, that's
Oh,
kind
at
of
camp.
Yeah.
Camp has been 100% success.
That's awesome.
And if we get to a point where we're struggling, it's pretty much all hands on deck, and they get people scattered out all over the ranch trying to find what the kid's after.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's huge. To get that fire burning, because
it is, and it's awesome to see them go. Because here's the thing: we've had kids go out and they get their hunt done, kind of quickly. They get lucky. We come across a group of rams, get a stock on them, and they get a good shot. We've had other kids go out 2 days straight and hike for miles, and opportunity after opportunity, and it's rugged ground. And here's what I tell all the parents and the kids when I'm talking to them prior to camp is, get shooting sticks and practice. The tripod shooting sticks are typically the best for the kids, and get them on uneven ground, hillsides, rugged terrain, because a lot of the kids in the beginning, we didn't even think about telling them that. And a lot of these kids would come out with, shooting experience off a bench.
Yeah.
There's no benches out there.
Yeah.
And it's not flat ground. So, a lot of the time they can't just lay down to shoot off a pack or anything like that. So that's a learning experience for all of us. We're like, oh, well, we need to make sure that they understand this is not like easy walking.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I mean, I can't think of any better way to get a kid interested and teach them the ropes, it took me years to learn half the stuff because, if you're not successful, you're not skinning a deer every year. So other than that, downtime wise, you guys got all sorts of fun activities and games you're playing while you're out there, or,
at camp, they run around. There's games to play. The kids are running around doing their own thing a lot. Like there's a big area for them to roam at camp, and depending on how warm it is, they'll be down by the pond, or you know, they'll be off over in the brush playing and playing games. And we've got cornhole games and all sorts of games set up around camp as well. Then DJ puts on a clown suit and runs around camp.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh wait, that's this year. I forgot.
Yeah, that would be day one because I don't get time after that.
Yeah.
Cutting
Yeah.
up 15 or 16 rams is not, they're small, but holy cow, it takes a while.
No,
Yeah.
and that's, mass credit to you for doing all that, because man, I'm running around with my head cut off most of the time, and you are just going to town and getting those rams done. And I can't even imagine, but it's a lot of work, and it's awesome that you guys come back and do that every year.
Yep, I won't miss it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that sounds like a pile of work. That's a full-time job.
And some other things we do, around camp. And we can touch on the evenings where things get a little more fun, as far as everything from s'mores to womdingers. I'll let Chris touch on womdingers there in a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that. I wrote that down. That was going to be a question. I wanted to know what the heck that was.
Yeah, and then it turns into, whipped cream fights and, all sorts of fun stuff. It's a really, really good time.
So Jane, and I don't know exactly how the Womdingers came about. I always give the credit to Jamie's dad, Jeff, because that's how I know they came to camp. But so Jeff Dixon, and I don't again know where they exactly came from, but the Dixon family have these things called Womdinger sticks, and they make good gravy. You take basically biscuit stuff and you put them over these Womdinger sticks, and then when you cook them over the fire like a marshmallow, and then you can fill them with whipped cream and pudding and whatever. And every single year, Cooper, one of the kids that comes to camp, who's now not a kid again, started as a kid, now he's pretty much an adult teenager, but he never learns his lesson, and every year he has to get Dixon with whipped cream. So it ends up turning out terrible for him, because Jamie is the type that you're going to get him, he's going to get you tenfold back. And so Cooper's usually nothing but a big ball of whipped cream by the time it's over with. But for some reason, every year that's his goal. His goal is to get him with whipped cream, and he does, but he gets it back.
That's awesome. I mean, it sounds like an amazing thing you guys are putting on. I'm sure. So actually, when's this go down? When does the camp start? What?
So camp this year, actually, Chris, we're gonna have to. I got a bone to pick with you on that one.
Hey, just so we're clear, I don't set camp dates. Dixon does.
Well, Dixon and I are gonna have to have a chit chat about that, because it's the youth turkey opener, and my kids are not thrilled with you about that.
Oh, no.
We won't miss camp, but
Way to go, Jamie.
It's this year. It's the last weekend in March.
Gotcha.
Yeah, March 30th through the 2nd.
Yeah, you're probably pretty busy putting that all together then. Like, there's a lot of moving parts going on.
There's a lot of moving parts. Getting camp set up isn't as terrible as the banquet, to be honest with you. The banquet's a lot more work, and that's over with, so I'm grateful. But there are a lot of moving parts. Just making sure who's going to show up, and getting all the pieces in order. And typically 99% of everybody who came the year before to help comes the following year. I mean, everybody's always messaging me going, hey, you got something for me to do at camp this year? And of course, sometimes I get people that are, let's just say you, for instance, you're like, hey, is there anything I can do? Yeah, you can come have fun, because at this point,
You can
there's
come
not
help
a
cut
whole lot
meat.
to do.
Yeah.
You cut meat up. Yeah, DJ always.
I can always use help.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
So
hell, that sounds like a good time.
yeah, come join and see. Then you can do another live podcast there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, you got a baby coming up here in a few years that'll be...
Yeah, I got a 4-year-old daughter, and then my son just turned 2. But my daughter's all about it. She's excited. She likes to go, I take her out and do a little hiking, deer hunting, on some pretty easy stuff. But she's she's way interested in it, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. I want to keep her interested.
Heck yeah. Well,
Did we
she's got a few
touch?
years, but we'll
Yeah,
still be going. Next year will be our 10th year
that's awesome.
putting this on.
Did we touch on age requirements for the kids?
No, I don't think we have. See, this is why you're here. Age, age requirement is 9 to 15 years old. And basically, like I said, either never been hunting before and really wants to, been hunting, haven't had success, or having some major struggle in life. We had a little girl once that lost her mother. We've had kids another young man that lost his father to cancer. We've had kids with cerebral palsy. We've had kids with muscular dystrophy.
We've had some kids autistic. We had one kid
Yeah,
a couple years back that he couldn't talk.
yeah,
He could
yeah.
talk. He just wouldn't have a conversation with you or
Yeah,
nothing.
So I
Absolutely
mean, we've
terrified of the noise of guns. So
yeah,
we were able to find a higher caliber rifle that was quieter. So
yeah.
so got him on that one. He ended up getting his ram too.
Nice.
and that was so funny because his dad came to me and was like, I've never seen him smile so much, and he's so happy around camp. And I was just like, he is.
Yeah,
Dude, when
I'm like,
when
that's
that
awesome. I'm so excited that he is, but I was nervous he wasn't having a very good time. But he's on cloud nine. He's got friends and he's talking about his friends, and that's something that he didn't really have prior.
yeah,
So his dad, again, once again, full of tears, just excited how fun and how much fun his kid is having at camp.
when he came back to camp with a ram in the back of that buggy, I don't think there was dry eye in that camp, man. It was emotional for everybody. It was a really, really neat experience.
Yeah, it was.
And
There's
that's the
so
thing,
many
you
there's
know,
so many times where that happens, and it's hard to even pick them apart,
right.
which one. But that one right there, like you just said, that was an emotional moment.
Yep. And that's the thing when the kids are coming back, it's everybody gathers around right where the hook is, where they're going to hang it at. Everybody's gathered around cheering these kids on, applause and cheers and all sorts of stuff. So the kids, it's their moment and they get to live that moment with everybody cheering them on, and then they step in for the next kid coming up, and it's
yeah. That's freaking awesome, man. Um, so you were mentioning earlier, I was on the YouTube channel. So you got a cameraman and a guide with each kid. Is that what?
yep.
That's freaking huge.
Yeah, it's fun getting their excitement, getting everything on film for them, and then letting them, having them able to go back and watch it all. It's just, I don't know, just another added little piece to the whole experience.
Yeah, something they get to take home.
Well, and they get to share it with that. What they're excited about a lot is being able to share it with their friends and family.
Yeah,
Grandpa couldn't come, but now he gets to be a part of that hunt. He gets to watch that. He gets to experience what they experienced, and be a part of it all. And it's a fun way to share and remember the moment.
yeah. That's I mean, you guys are doing some amazing stuff there. Um,
Thank you.
so you're on Facebook. I was on there too. Looks like,
Yep.
and you mentioned it. I was going to ask about it. The banquet. Um, we just got over. So what's your banquet? It looked like some awards, or what do you guys?
So basically, I mean, it's how we raise the money for camp.
Gotcha.
Uh, so we've got live auction items and things like that we do throughout the night. And then the kids, with the taxidermists bring the rams for the kids. Oh, I don't even know if we talked about that. So like Joel and several other taxidermists that we have, they do free shoulder mounts for the kids. So they take the rams and they do shoulder mounts on them, and then at camp, those rams are brought to, or not camp, sorry, at the banquet. The rams are brought to the banquet. They're put up on the wall, and the kids get to go home with them. So they also get a free shoulder mount on top of everything else they get.
Yeah, so your banquet is your kind of money raiser. I'm sure
Yep.
you've probably got some other, a handful of other sponsors, like you mentioned, Joel at Black River Taxidermy. Anybody else that kind of, obviously you're donating a ton of your time cutting up animals, DJ.
Yeah, we've got, so like, man, I could put a long list of people together that are helping out, that are donating and doing things, but it's a long list. I'll have to have you scroll it on the screen or something.
Yeah. I got I kind of I got a website I built that probably me is the only one that visits it, but I got a little blog section that I kind of each podcast or whatever I do, I kind of like to throw up a little blog about whatever it was we talked about. So
Nice.
if after this you could put something together, I could put it on there, put it on some.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it looks like.
And if people want to check out, the Titan Outdoors Facebook page, there's a lot of information on there. We're building the website so that we can have that as well, kind of separate from the Facebook world. And then obviously the Titan Outdoors Little Titans YouTube page, which is LIL Titans, not the full little word. So yeah, there's several different things that they can check out as well.
Gotcha. So you got a website in the making, the YouTube channel, Titan Outdoors on Facebook. We touched on the banquet, which I wanted to get to. And so what, you went on a little bit. And so, and I already know the answer to this, but these kids get to go there basically off of, an entry video. They're chosen free of cost to the kids and their family, correct?
The only cost associated is travel to camp and from camp.
Right. Yep. Other than, maybe
breakfast and
a
lunch.
little bit of food. Like they'll bring like breakfast stuff or lunch stuff, but we covered dinners.
Gotcha.
So yeah, there's pretty much their main and only cost is getting there.
Wow.
Fuel.
And I don't know if you even want to touch on this, Chris. We can have them edit it out if you don't. But and once they're at camp, there are bigger rams than what we as Titan Outdoors, that we pay for the kids to be able to shoot.
There's not anymore.
Oh, there's no. They're maxed, huh?
Yeah, so basically when we first started, and this is where there is technically, but I'll get to that in just a second. So basically when we first started, there's different stages of rams on the ranch, like, smaller, mid-size to, pretty much the Mac Daddy of the ranch. And we were around the smaller to the mid in the beginning. Financially, that's what we could afford to pay for all the kids, and that's what we could afford to do. And over the years, we've gotten to a point where now, thanks to everybody that comes to the banquet and everybody that helps out and sponsors and pitches in, we're able to already prepay for the top of the line when it comes to the rams. There are a few specialty rams out there, that are ridiculous, like the one Kaiser shot.
Yeah, we can touch on that story here in a little bit. That's a doozy.
So,
Daddy's still not thrilled.
So, but typically there were, if they wanted to upgrade, they could work something out with the ranch owner to do that. But it's now pretty much we got it covered.
That's awesome.
And then for little Kaiser's hunt, she was, we did a draw. So we were at our 100th Little Titan that was going through camp. And we did a draw who was going to be number 100, who was going to be the 100th kid out on the ranch to go after a ram. And Kaiser got selected. So there was an extra little treat from the ranch owners, Caleb and Chantel, that came along with that. So DJ, fire away.
Oh, thanks, pal. So this was a big secret to me. I saw the ranch owner pull my wife into a little side room there, and Chantel was talking to her, and they came out, and my wife had a smile on her face. I'm like, "What the hell was that for?" She's like, "I can't tell you nothing." I'm like, okay, so something shady's going on here. Well, as we're getting ready to leave, I hear Caleb say, "Hey, somebody needs to get that trailer. We're going to need it." And I'm like, oh, okay. If it's a trailer, then it's going to be something big. It's going to be a buffalo or a yak or something, you know. So we start heading out there. And he says, "So, Kaizo, if there's anything on this ranch you want to shoot, what is it?" And she's like, "I don't know, a ram?" You know, and of course she's super quiet, super shy. And I'm like immediately like, oh, okay. I know exactly where this is headed. And
Did you know at this point that she was the 100th?
I did know she was the 100th.
Yeah, I thought so because we drew, right?
Yep. And he had made mention of the buffalo, and Kaiser was still dead set. She wanted to kill a ram. She wanted to kill a ram. She wanted to kill a ram. And I'm like, gosh, dang it. So I'm like, Caleb, why don't we show her the buffalo? I'm thinking in my head, you know, if she sees this big ass thing, she's gonna definitely be all about it.
DJ was drooling.
I'm like in the back of my mind, I'm like, shoot the buffalo. I'll pay for a freaking ram. Like, shoot the damn buffalo. You know how long that thing will feed us for? Like, shoot the damn buffalo. So gets us up there. We're on a high point, and that buffalo is still a ways out there, but he shows it to her, and he says, "Do you want to shoot that?" She said, "I didn't come here to shoot a buffalo. I came here to shoot a ram."
Yep.
And I'm like, Are you serious right now?
Stone cold about it too. She was just like, I don't know what you're showing me, but that's not a ram.
And
that's awesome.
Caleb said, "Well, what ram do you want to shoot?" "Well, I want to shoot the fluffy one," which was I'm pretty sure that was the most expensive ram they had on the ranch.
The rack-a-ram.
Yep, rack-a-ram is what he is. And we ended up going out, and took us quite a while to find him, and went out and got her done. So
yeah,
I'm still not thrilled about this whole buffalo thing, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
But she ended up with one of the most unique, awesome looking rams that I've seen in quite a while. And I've seen obviously a lot of rams, but and she put in the work, man. That was just such a fun, awesome experience to go through all of that with her. Just watching her, like you could tell, like the atmosphere was like, oh, she's gonna get a buffalo, to her going, nope. I came here for a ram. I don't know what you're doing, but we're going after a ram.
Hey, you got your mindset on what you want.
She did. Yeah. She did, and there was no swaying her from that one bit.
Man, yeah, I mean, it's I'm surprised. This is the first I talked to you guys a while back. It's kind of the first time I've heard of it. I'm kind of upset with myself. I didn't know about this before. It's pretty friggin' awesome. I've been checking out the Facebook page, and I was on Titan Outdoors, but you want it's LIL Titan.
No, that's the
YouTube.
Yeah, the YouTube is Titan Outdoors, Little Titans, LIL Titans.
Gotcha. Okay.
The Facebook page is just Titan Outdoors. I started that, a long time ago, back when I was doing regular hunting stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of morphed into using it for the Little Titans because I've got, a large following on there. So there's no point starting a new one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you kind of, you were basically filming like your own hunts with your buddies. Yeah. Is that how it all started then?
Yeah, just started off with filming, scouting trips, things like that, and rolling into, you know what? I want to try to make a hunting video around Western Washington, just for shits and giggles. And I ended up getting a nice camera and talked to my buddy, and he wanted to do it too. So we just kind of rolled into that, and yeah, snowballed into hunting bear and deer and elk and whatever else, turkeys, and making the videos out of that. And just did that for several years, and yeah, just kind of tapered off into. I've had enough of that. I mean, I still film some stuff here and there, but just kind of tapered off from my giving F. Went from doing that to trying to get these kids out here and trying to keep our sport alive, really.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I wrote that down because I was reading something on there about you wrote about hunt for the future.
Yeah, Little Titans Hunt for the Future
Yep.
basically is what it's called, and it's to get these kids out off their computers, off their laptops, off their devices, and get out in the woods and do what we did when we were kids. Go enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah, and that's one thing about camp is there is no cell phone service there.
No, perfect.
Zero.
There is no cell phone service there. Wi-Fi is cut off to everybody. It is about, it's just about camp and enjoying those around you and everything else around you. So,
and that's the cool thing is seeing these kids not have a phone in their hand and running around and playing and enjoying each other's company.
Well, it's funny too because when you first get to camp, they're confused. They don't know what the hell to do without their phone.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do without their phone or their iPad or being able to sit down and watch a show and not have a conversation with somebody. And then by the end of camp, you can't keep your eyes on them because they're off running and playing and having a good time. So it's
they show up kind of irritated because what do you mean there's no cell service? And then the next thing you know, they're laughing and it's I don't even know. It's just so fun to sit there and watch the morph go from
the transition. Yep.
Yeah, the transition from the to woohoo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So you guys, I mean, clearly do a shit ton for these kids. A lot. Looks like I mean a ton of effort. What do you guys got going on for yourselves this year? You guys got any hunts planned you're doing, or not to switch gears on you, but
what's that, Chris?
What do you got going on, DJ?
Oh, me? So
Yeah.
basically, I'm just gonna hunt around here, local to the Yakima Valley area, and I got the 2 babies that we'll just kind of stick with, and obviously wait for draw results. We'll see. I'm not very high hopes on drawing anything this year, but I am a hunter education instructor, so I got put in, or so I'm put in for all their incentive permits too. So we'll see. That actually, I should be hearing any day now on those ones. That'll kind of set my game plan for whether or not, I'm going to go do anything else.
See, I didn't even know you were a hunter's education instructor.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
Oh, what am I at? 5 years, 4.5, 5 years now. I got the Master Hunter certification. Just the only reason I can't say the only reason I got that, but part of the reason I got that is I'm tired of chasing, 4 spikes and a herd of elk when I can go out to the training center and kill a cow every year and wait till I draw a big bull tag,
Yeah.
Go chase, 4 spikes with 600 other people is just not fun to me. So
Yeah, I hear you there. What about you, Chris? You got anything going on?
Well, just in the middle of this conversation, I just realized DJ forgot to put in for Spring Bear.
Oh, DJ forgot.
Oh, in Oregon?
I put in. I'm just saying you forgot because you didn't.
Yeah, that was last night, right?
Is it closed?
It's over. Yeah, next year.
Thanks for the reminder, pal.
Next year, DJ will be putting in for Spring Bear in Oregon.
Yeah, I was right there and about ready to put in for it, but I think if I got one more debit card charge from another Department of Wildlife in a different state, I was going to get kicked out of my house.
Yeah. So being able to basically, I put in for Spring Bear. Hopefully, I get drawn for that again. Fall bear after that, and then elk season, deer season, and then I go to Montana, and I don't know if that's happening this year. This will be the first year in almost 15 plus years that somewhere right around there, 15 years that I haven't gone to Montana. But if I don't go to Montana, I'm going somewhere. I just don't know where yet. I need to figure that out. But yeah, my hunting plans for this year are kind of up in the air. Normally, the place that I've hunted for elk for the last, I can't even tell you how many years, 10 plus years, is now a draw area. So they changed that on me. So I'm kind of changing a lot of my plans for this year. I will be hunting, yes. Where? Not quite sure about every place yet.
Yeah, it's still pretty early, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm right now. I'm kind of waiting on the draw results for spring bear. They should be out not too much longer, I would think. I forgot when they come out. I gotta
it's like
look,
the
but
20th or something, isn't it?
it could, yeah, probably somewhere around there. But yeah, I mean, spring bear is not too difficult to draw usually. Now that I said that, I won't draw, but I'm sure I'll have somebody that hasn't gotten a bear yet that wants to go out, that got a tag. And I just love taking people out, to get their first animal, get their first whatever. Whether I'm getting something or not, I've done my share. I just like taking other people out too. So
Yeah. Well,
how about you? You can't leave yourself out. What are you doing?
oh man, I got a deer tag for Idaho. I'm gonna probably go spring bear hunt in Idaho, and then I put in for Wyoming elk, Arizona elk, and pronghorn. And my dad actually moved to Arizona, so it's kind of an excuse to go see him, I guess, if I draw it, which I probably won't. I don't have very many points, so. Um, but I put it near where he moved to, so at least it's like, yeah, I'll come see you.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
For
By
a
the
couple
way,
minutes.
can I stay in his place?
Yeah. That's about it. I'll put in for a few things here in Washington, but yeah, I don't know. This state's scaring me more and more every day, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that could go on for hours.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. Not too much stuff. Montana. I'm gonna put in for Montana.
Are you? Yeah, and it's going to be hard not to, and I'm not 100% not going to yet. Not. I just it's on the talks of maybe doing something different this year. So it's hard for me to change. I'm a creature of habit, and I've been going to Montana for many, many, many years, to the same area for many, many years. Same with my elk hunting. I've been going to the same area for X amount of years, and now it's changed on me, and it's like I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't like this. So yeah, I got to come up with some new game plans.
Yeah, and then it all hinges on what I end up getting and when I get to go too. But I'll probably put in for something in Colorado just for some points. But I'm trying to just gather up some points to venture out farther and farther away from home, basically.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff I want to do, but
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
With the girls now, man, I remember growing up just kind of thinking, like, how can all these adults around me just want me to go shoot something? I never thought I'd get to that point in my life where I don't care if I ever notch another tag. Watching my babies do it or watching other people do it is just absolutely incredible. So that's kind of where
it is.
I'll just stay local and let my girls go out and
that's awesome.
get their deer.
I'm just as excited to see someone else get something, than I am myself. If not more excited.
Yeah, and a lot of the boots on the ground stuff I do, even this time of year is when my kids do get old enough to go, they don't have to do what I did and start from scratch. Like we've got a place. I've already scouted some stuff, and we can go here.
Right.
I kind of want to learn a lot of the other states. Also along with this state and places that I can pass down to them, where they're not having to relearn everything like I did. But I can't wait. I can't wait for my kids to get old enough to go. Like I'm ready to start putting them in for points because that way they're old enough to use them. They're not 65 when they draw an elk tag.
Yeah. Right.
So
No kidding. I need mine to get older so they can start packing stuff out for me. I'm getting too old for this.
yeah, yeah,
One
that's
of
That
the things,
I think
real quick, jumping back really fast, because I just thought about this as we're talking about all these states. The one great thing about camp, one other great thing about camp, I should say, is kids from any state can apply.
oh, that's
So
awesome.
we've had kids from California, we've had kids from Idaho,
Oklahoma.
Oregon, Washington. Wow, goodness gracious, where was that other one?
Oklahoma. That
Oklahoma. Thank you.
young
Yep,
girl.
Oklahoma. Yeah, we've had kids from all over the place come to camp,
So
and it's not just local here. It's not just Washington or Oregon, or it's wherever you want to get here. If you can get here, you can put in for camp.
that's yeah. So is so Four Aces is basically. Are they kind of just managing their own wildlife on their own land, kind of a thing? Is that how that? It's just like a.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
Right. So
yeah.
all their
So
stuff's
it's
exotics.
gotcha.
it's a high fence ranch. Like I said, large ranch,
Yeah,
and also, you don't have to have a hunting license to go, and that's another key part for this, is the fact that we can do that. They can come to camp, they can learn, they can go through the process, they can leave camp ready to go, get their license, and start hunting. And that is
that's awesome.
100% the biggest part about this is getting that fire going, keeping the passion going for these kids, and getting them out and continuing to hunt and continuing, this lifestyle.
Yeah, that's huge, man. I mean, I don't. It's a huge advantage for those kids to be able to go, one place and basically learn. Obviously they got to choose whether they're going to take it with them or not, which it sounds like a lot of them are just loving it. So,
Right.
um,
And
yeah,
and for the families that don't really have a hunting background, they've I don't know, I'm sure Chris has too, but I've had just in my few years of doing it, I've had families reach out to me like, "Hey, I'm running into this issue. Where do I get the sausage seasoning? Where do how do I clean this piece of meat up or how do I clean that piece of meat up, So they've always got us too as, you
yeah,
know, we've got that relationship now and it's something that I'm always going to be there for them if they need me. So, and I know Chris is the same way and the rest of the guys too. So,
Oh, for sure. And we've got, kids that come to camp that their family is they were not going to have an opportunity to go hunting. Their family is not into hunting. They're willing to be a part of it. They're willing to do it. They haven't been hunters. We have a kid this year that got selected that his family's not hunters, but he really wanted to go hunting. He wants to learn. A few years ago, a friend of mine back from high school days, also not a hunter. So Jeff Todd, his son Bristol put in, he wanted to go hunting. He was going to Joel's shop and looking at all the animals, and when Joel's the taxidermist, and he was like, I want to do this. And so Jeff wasn't a hunter, and this was Bristol's opportunity to go and have this experience. And now not only does Bristol want to continue to hunt, he's got his rifle and he's got all his stuff. He's got his gear. He's got all the stuff to go do it as well. But now Jeff's like looking at it going, I need to be able to, I need to learn this so I can take him hunting and, things like that. And, but Jeff's also now, he came several years ago. He's a huge supporter of our camp. He donates every year and comes to camp and helps out and stuff like that. So it's just these kids that don't even have the opportunity,
how
you
many
know.
how many how many guns did Jeff buy this year at the banquet?
Oh, not only
I
did he
mean,
buy,
four or
not
five.
only
I
did he
mean,
buy things for the banquet, he turned around and bought, like, I don't even know how many at the banquet.
holy
He
cow!
kept auction or going in the auction and winning and winning and winning, and he left with more guns than he needed probably.
Yep.
But so I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's awesome to see these people turn into huge supporters of the sport itself, and not only just our organization, but their passion for the outdoor grows with their kid.
Yeah, it's invaluable.
Yeah, 100%.
We're I mean, I could talk to you guys all day if you want. I don't know if you guys got anything you really want to.
I don't have any time frame, so
Yeah, we're just a little over an hour. I just want to make sure you guys get everything in that you want to. I mean, I can't like it's pretty awesome. I don't really have the it's one of the coolest programs I think I've heard of in quite a while. And I condemn the shit out of you guys for all the effort you put into it.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I could talk about it all night because like it's 100% my heart and passion is this whole camp and this experience, and it's just created itself into its own beast of an incredible experience, and seeing all these kids every single year just leave with a big smile on their face and learning so much, and all the people that come and help out, and all the little pieces that go along with this, system is incredible. And I'm sure, not being able to think of it at the moment, we might have one little piece we're missing, and next year somebody might go, "Hey, what about this?"
Yeah.
Like, like DJ, it came right along and boom, filled a huge gap that we needed filled. That type of thing. So,
so, maybe close it out, or end here with the best way for somebody to find you guys, get a hold of you, or for a kid who's interested in learning how to hunt, to submit their videos to.
Yeah, the best way would be the Titan Outdoors Facebook page, and just get on there, and all the information's on there. You just scroll down, you'll find it. We post about it all the time. And then, actually, I think in the About Us section actually has most of the details about camp. You can message us on there as well, and ask whatever questions you want.
Right on. Well, DJ, you got anything you want to?
No, I think Chris pretty much summed that all up there.
Yeah, well, shit, I appreciate you guys giving me some time and explaining this cool thing. I'll probably have this thing posted tomorrow. I'll tag you guys in it, and I'm gonna hope I'm gonna be there. I want to come down and check it out.
You're certainly welcome to join us for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious. If you want to come camp, DJ needs a hand. So
yeah. Hey.
And you know what? I mean, really, what better way for you to understand what we're talking about than to come see it for yourself?
Well, yeah, exactly.
And then we can do another one after camp.
Yeah, I got I can bring pretty mobile stuff. I got to, I can bring some stuff down there and get some pretty cool interviews or something.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean,
yeah,
we'll get time talking with Jamie and Skylar and everybody, and, get everybody on the next one.
Yeah. Right on. All right. Well, yeah, if you guys, if that's about it, I just want to say thanks. This has been a pretty awesome one. And, I hope to see you guys down there end of March.
Yep. End of March. And I can kind of keep you posted, I think.
Yep. Just going to say, DJ can keep you posted on that. You guys can figure out some details.
Did you find out if us volunteers can go down a night earlier, or do you not know yet?
We can talk about that later, but yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Alrighty,
so,
yeah. Well, thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you having us on here.
Yeah. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Have a good night.